Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Would you like even more content? Here's my Patreon. Now onto the stories. Case file number 1022, written by Fjona, the pencil that controls the world. I have to say that I'm a person who could see a donkey flying and wouldn't think much of it. I will probably find it weird at first and then go about my day without thinking much of it. It's been a while that I've been listening to Glitch in the Matrix stories, and while thinking about if one has ever happened to me, nothing came up in my head. Until one day, without even thinking about glitches, this weird event from 10 years ago popped into my head. Keep in mind that I found the event very weird when it happened, but then I didn't think a lot about it, so my memory is a little blurry as to what really happened. I come from a small town in a small country. I was studying at a boarding school in the capital at the time, and on the weekends I would travel to my hometown. One Friday, before going back to my hometown, I went to a stationery shop with a friend of mine. I needed to buy a pack of refills for mechanical pencils, which are not sold in my small hometown. I remember buying one very well, because I wanted to cut the line out of worry of missing the bus, and my friend stopped me. She asked me if I knew who the man I was about to cut in line in front of was, but I didn't know. Turns out it was a famous folk singer, whom I had definitely heard of, but never knew how he looked since it's not my kind of music. This is irrelevant to the story itself, but it is the reason that I remember very well buying one refiller case for mechanical pencils. Afterwards, I traveled to my hometown, and as soon as I reached home, I realized that my pencil case, which contained all of my stationery stuff, was missing from my bag. I remember having it when I left the bus, and it must have fallen on my way home. To be fair, it was my fault for putting it at the top of an open bag that was full of other stuff, so it's no surprise that it fell. I went with my father to look for it by walking the path we had just followed to get home, but we couldn't find my pencil case. I had lost all my pens and pencils and all the other stationery stuff that was inside of it, so I was upset about it, but I was mostly upset about the new refiller pack that I had just bought earlier. Here's where things make no sense. That same weekend, I ended up finding two brand new mechanical pencil refill cases, identical to the one I had bought, in my hometown, where they were not even sold. I found one the very next day, 10 steps from my home, and I'm surprised, but somehow I don't question it. I had this conviction that it was the same one that I had bought the day before. It makes no sense why it was there, since I lost the whole pencil case, and it would have been inside with the other things. And I'm sure that I didn't lose the pencil case on that spot, since I realized I had lost my pencil case as soon as I got home, and that area was within my field of view, so I would have immediately noticed if that was the case. It's a little blurry how I ended up with another identical and brand new refiller case, because it's been 10 years since the event. But from what I can remember, my father brought me the second refiller that very weekend, but I do not know where he found it. Pretty sure he did not buy it, but found it. I'm considering the second one a gift from the universe, I guess. However, I never recovered the rest of the things that I had lost, but hey, at least I got two new and identical refills, I guess. Case notes are file 10,022, the pencil that controls the world. Okay, so be honest, if you saw a flying donkey just parading through the sky, the first thought would be, can I ride on it? Like a hippogriff? That would be my first thought anyways. That'd be fun. Just don't fall off. Isn't it cool how the universe's errors can often play into our favor? At least some copies of us in certain universes. In another universe, probably the mechanical pencil case just vanished, and then reappeared in this universe. For you, it's to your benefit. Small one, but still. But imagine if it was more notable or potent. All the gold in Fort Knox in one universe disappears and then reappears in our Fort Knox. So gold just duplicates, double. It's like the Harry Potter scene in Gringotts where they touch a cup and it multiplies because of the Gemino curse, I think it was. Kind of like that, but in actual reality. Bonus file, written by Lonely Ad 9225. Unexpected inspection by my dead boss. So this just happened last week. The warehouse I work at is reloading an empty trailer with a pallet jack. Once I filled it up with 30 pallets of merchandise, I decided to have one last look and inspect everything one last time before I closed it and got ready to send it on its way. I walked in and was halfway in when I saw my boss standing there. I froze in fear and I called out to him. I'm like, Alex, when did you come in here? He turned around and he was pale and ignored me, then walked out. This is not like him. Alex never ignores me, but it was as if he didn't know me. I then walked out confused and went to his office. The lights were out. I asked my coworker, why is Alex inside the container I was loading? I told her it's very strange. He was just standing there and he even ignored me. She was like, that's impossible. He left on an errand like 20 minutes ago and hasn't come back. I didn't believe her, so I went to the parking lot and his car wasn't there. Once I saw that, I felt dizzy and almost had a heart attack. I still have the image fresh in my mind of what I saw there. I saw him, but like I mentioned, it was more like a scary version of him. He looked pale and just scary and completely ignored me as if he didn't see me. Then afterwards, Alex had just been in a nasty car accident and didn't make it. I am beyond terrified to go back to work. But I have to go. I can't explain what happened. No, I don't do drugs, nothing like that. I know what I saw. I saw his ghost to make sure I finished my job. I just hope he doesn't keep appearing. After that happened, another coworker told me she was in the break room and she felt like someone was behind her and staring at her. She turned around and there was nobody there. Case notes for the bonus file. Unexpected inspection by my dead boss? That is an extremely dedicated boss, yeah. One final inspection before he departs the mortal coil, or even within the last strands of the coil. Make sure his workers are doing okay. Kinda respect that. But to be serious, that would be terrifying. To glimpse his soul just before or maybe just after he died. Dying in a car accident, maybe there was water involved, which is why he's pale, or maybe it's just how he looked after, we all die, we lose color in our skin because there's no blood flow. I would be freaked out, that's for sure, and I don't know if I could go back to work there. I mean, maybe I'd be okay and mellow out after a few weeks of not seeing him, but if it's a common reoccurrence, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. Even if he doesn't have malicious intent, like even if he's just this dedicated boss that wants to manage his employees after death, like, chill, bro. This is too much. We can't handle that. At least Alex took pride in his work. That's one thing to say, and may his soul rest in peace, whatever little fragment is left. And now time for the quote of the day. You cannot conquer a free man. The most you can do is kill him. Robert Heinlein. Yeah, this gives me 1984 vibes, where the whole point of that was to control thought, control the mind, control the deeper element inside it, maybe the soul. You can kill someone, that's easy, very easy. But to really get into their mind and make them betray everything that they hold dear, every principle and thought that they cherish, well, that is truly to break a person, to destroy them entirely, much more than killing them ever could. If you make someone betray themselves, that's where they're wiped clean. Avoid that at all costs, no matter what happens to you, no matter what challenges come your way or what people say. Just be true to yourself.